Hello guys and welcome back to War Thunder. This time we'll be taking a look at the M18 Hellcat. This is the Black Cat version, the premium tank. It is not very different from the regular Hellcat. The only differences are visual. This is a very fast tank, and as you can see in the clip here, you can go almost 80 kilometers per hour, downhill of course. You need to be careful though, or this will happen. If you're driving over rough grounds, you want to be really careful. Luckily for me, I didn't actually flip over, or rather I flipped it back onto my tracks. As you could see there, the team list just flashing up for a second. The teams aren't very balanced. The Americans get 11 players and the Germans get, I think it's 16. This is Gaijin's way of balancing out the Hellcat span. Apparently, it takes almost 1.5 Tiger to knock out a Hellcat. Or to balance out rather. The reason that the Hellcat is so overpowered is because of the way fragmentation works in this game. The 88mm shells just go right through it. There is no fragmentation or spalling on the inside of the tank. The crew should be knocked out from a single hit by an 88, but as you can see later in this video, the 88 just goes right through it and nothing happens. The speed isn't the problem. There are a lot of other quick tanks. The problem is how big guns work against thin armor. And the way to balance this out is probably to increase the effectiveness of high explosive shells, because currently even 88mm high explosive shells doesn't do nothing, absolutely nothing if they hit the outside of this tank. They blow up and it says hit, if even that. Once I've actually bounced a high explosive shell, I don't know how it happened, but well, my high explosive shell bounced. As you can see on the map, I have driven up more than halfway between the spawns, and I will just wait here for the enemies to drive right past me and I'll shoot them in the back. Unfortunately, it takes the enemy quite a while to get here. And then all of a sudden there's a tank and there's a tiger, and let's shoot the tiger. I hit him in the ammo, but nothing happened. He is aiming at me, and another tiger drives right in front of me, saving me from the first shell, but well, now I'm on fire, and I've been hit twice. 3 times I've been hit, and 4 times. As you can see, my turret was knocked out, my gun was knocked out, and my transmission was knocked out. But it took, I think, 6 shells to actually kill this Hellcat from 75mm guns and above. This is why the Hellcat is unbalanced. It's not because of its speed, it's because of the way light armor works. Now let's fast forward on the way back to the town. Getting strafed by Fuckwolf. Those are actually dangerous to the Hellcat. You can get killed by light machine gun fire if they aim inside your turret. They can knock out every single gun crew if they want to, or every single tank crew. As we saw earlier, there was a Yankee Panther, I believe, up in this forest. And oh looky, on the left side we have 2 tigers. I will aim for the one in the rear. They maybe, just maybe, the first tank won't notice and won't shoot at me. I'll take a shot, but I knock out his gun, Or at least I critically damage it, so if he fires, he will probably not be able to fire again for a while. And as you can see, he just fired, knock out his horizontal turret drive, bounce a shot on his gun mantlets. Where did the other go? There he is. APCR, bounce on his gun. He is pointed at me, so let's move. I knocked out both of their gun turrets, but if the entire tank is pointing at me, then I might as well move. Gunner gets knocked out. That tank driver knows what he's doing. He is adjusting. Instead of rotating his entire tank, he is actually just moving back and forth to adjust. And as you can see there, the APCR is actually more effective at blowing up ammo racks than armor-piercing caped ballistic caps is. Maybe I was just unlucky last time. Maybe this time was just lucky. And where did those tigers go? Both of them are gone. This is something I don't like about War Thunder, how the dead tanks just disappear. I want them to sit there till the end of the match. I want to see the wrecks of dead tanks, and here you can see how badly my crew is wounded. 2 are knocked out and 2 are injured. Only the commander or loader is fine. Okay, so tank is repaired. Let's push up. I can see my team is capturing B, and since they are doing that, the entire enemy team will probably be facing the other way. Always be careful when cresting hills. That looks like a tank on the hill. It's a dead one. Okay, that though is not a dead tank. Let's put a shot right in the rear of this Jagdpanther. Knock his gun out. If he fires, he will blow up the gun and hopefully his entire crew. The crew didn't blow up, but I set him on fire, knocked out his engine. He put the fire out, but it did nothing because I already knocked his crew out. Okay, let's see if there are any other enemies around. Doesn't seem like there are, and let's push up a bit more. There shouldn't be many enemies left now. I can see a few planes flying around. Always be careful when driving around corners. I have noticed that some tanks are invisible until you have driven outside of the corner. You see the remains of the Jagdpanther. As I said, sometimes tanks stay invisible even though they shouldn't. Because the game thinks that you are outside of, or rather behind cover, and they are too. This is something that has been in the game for quite a while, this bug, but it hasn't been fixed yet. That's the remains of the Jagdpanther. I wasn't sure though, so I wanted to point my gun at him in case he moved his. Just to be sure that I wouldn't get killed. Since this is Ultra Sim, you don't know if the enemy's crew is knocked out or if they are just repairing. Sometimes you can see smoke coming out of the commander's hatch. If there is smoke, the entire crew is knocked out, but if they are in an SPG, there is no commander's hatch for them to pour smoke out of. At least that's the pattern I've seen. Okay, so we have captured the point. Some Stukas are trying to strafe the tanks and the cap, but game's over, and looks like we have won this one. As you can see, 3 ground units destroyed. I died once, and I have not quite figured out how to drive these incredibly fast tanks yet. I'm rather a medium and heavy tank driver. Speaking of which, next video will either be the M26 E1 Premium or the T32. Here you can see the result screen and the teams that were quite unbalanced. And this is the event that I played in. I think it will stay up for a few days. When driving this tank, I strongly suggest you have a highly upgraded crew, and especially a well-trained driver. If you don't have it, you will crash into a lot of things, and a good loader could be, well, good to have too. As you can see, I have 500 crew level. This is pretty much the only slot I use for tanks in the US. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. As well. First off, Normandy. I have purchased the half-track with the 75mm gun, using some Golden Eagles that I had spare.